hosts, the Bay Area Brawler, Skyler, Greenberg, and your Colonial champion, Sean McCarty. Welcome to the Court Martial Podcast.
You're welcome for making you co-host for the better part of 3.5 years.
Yeah, but how many times has your equipment failed?
Yeah, how many times has it succeeded, motherfucker? Yeah.
Already. I don't know, Sean, if you wanted to, you actually could have said, well, how many times have your equipment failed? And I would have said, I've never tried it.
Well, it's no fun if you've already made the joke yourself.
I'm just saying, you could have asked if my equipment works.
Well, I already knew the answer to that, though, Sky. Why would I ask a question to something I knew the answer to? Until knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Hey, I'm not going to bring up your inability or current hiatus from equipment. I used to be an equipment manager in high school, and that's exactly what you think it is. And welcome to Guess the Card, the third edition here on the Court Martial Podcast. I am your Colonial champion, Sean McCarty, starting this off hot and heavy, and maybe I need to take a little bit of a breather here and introduce the two men, not one, but two, who are going to be joining me to guess those cards. We begin with my partner in crime, the man of the hour, the man with the power. He is too sweet to be sour. He is the Bay Area Brawler himself, and depending on whether this podcast is out, he will either be celebrating or drinking his sorrows in Taylor Swift, either winning or losing the Super Bowl. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, and we have to practice on this crappy UNLV field, which is lovely.
Well, that's the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, right? I believe.
Yeah, and their crappy field that we have to practice at. Meanwhile, the Chiefs get the Raiders practice field.
And what is it? It's just like artificial turf?
Basically.
Oh, man. And the worst injury, getting turf toe, could happen to all the 49ers. But see, speaking of a man who knows what it's like to put his turf onto the toe and get action done in the name of his YouTube channel as I'm bleeding in the moonlight in this transition, JoshAgeddon is here, who has burst through the hole in the ship that I just opened up. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, operator, my friend Sean's having a stroke. Can you please go to his residence and take him to the hospital?
We haven't even started yet, though. That's the worst part.
Jesus Christ, Sean, what was in those oranges?
Listen, man, you know what? I've just done Ben Shook. About the news that has completely encapsulated the wrestling world over the past couple of weeks, and it's about time that we get the opinions with some maybe onions and funyuns, depending on how sweet or sour we feel the man of the hour is going to talk about it. So we're going to spark notes through this because of his request, but you still get an intro. Roll it.
Coming straight to you from the Golden Gate Garage, this is the Wrestle News with Skyler Greenberg.
Alright, news of the week, Bay Area Brawler, Skyler Greenberg at your service. And the reason why I want to keep this short is because, one, I want to get the guess the card because that's going to be the more fun part of the show.
Hooray!
And two, I want to talk about this from a perspective that you guys haven't yet, because Joshua did a very, very good video as he destroyed all his WWE merchandise.
Yes, and by the way, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, this is The Rock, Cody Rhodes basically stepping aside for The Rock in the main event of WrestleMania Night 2. Go ahead, Sky.
He didn't step aside, he assumed the position.
True.
Anyways, let me continue before this de-escalates. And Sean, you did your very fine special edition episode, which was here. I haven't had the chance to talk about it, and most importantly, because I really don't want to talk about this. The thing that we're finding out now is that Cody Rhodes didn't find out that he was going to get replaced by The Rock until he arrived at SmackDown that day.
Wow.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but isn't that just so classic a move from WWE? Is that not just such a classic move?
Again, this feels like something Triple H would do. This feels like something Vince McMahon would do. And that's the really big bullshit of all this. It's not even Cody. I don't blame Cody. He did the best way he could with a shit sandwich. And yes, I'm sure he could argue it, but there's no way that you can argue with the literal head board of director member of The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, whatever.
Yeah, he lapped everybody.
The fact that The Rock has pulled a move that not even Hulk Hogan has been able to is both impressive and galling at the same time. The Rock may be the best ass kisser in the history of WWE and wrestling in general.
I have no rebuttal to anything that you have just said.
My response is hashtag we want Cody.
Every single goddamn day CM Punk's promo ages well, especially the last two lines. Well, maybe this company will be better off when Vince is dead, but he's going to get taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law.
Yep.
Tell him when he's telling lies.
It's getting to the point now where when we watch WrestleMania, depending on what happens, I may choose not to watch WWE anymore. I'm certainly restricting myself to the big four because I'm not watching any of the B shows with the pretend of hope. That's the galling part. Is that I brought up a scenario to these guys earlier about, well, what would have happened if The Rock would have won at the Rumble? And yes, it would have sucked, as Joshua pointed out in our group chat, but at least it would have been upfront about it. The fact that they teased us, Cody finishing his story, and then yanking it from him a week later is bullshit.
It was a live castration.
And even if they do the thing where they try to do the Daniel Bryan thing and have Cody come back in and make it a triple threat match, which God knows that will be awful.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because Cody will have been relegated to being the third fit player of this. Again, I have no good things to say about Dwayne Johnson. The fact that he ruined the Fast and Furious franchise, the fact that he basically destroyed what was left of the DC animated universe or DC live action universe, and now he's destroying professional wrestling all because he wants to be the face. And people online are not reacting to him. They don't care about him. They don't want him to be the one to take Roman Reigns. And the ones that are idiots because they're not going to see a good match. They're going to see a 45-minute match with Roman Reigns and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who can't get it up anymore except with the help of Viagra.
Oh, well, he's certainly taking supplements, if that's what you're alluding to, Skyler.
I'm alluding to the fact that The Rock can't go anymore in the ring and gets blown up the minute he walks out there.
Yeah, it's going to suck. And I cannot wait.
It was one thing when he wrestled against John Cena because at the time, eventually John Cena was put over, if we want to call it that.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't really matter in that case either because, it's a lose-lose situation. Because if Roman Reigns wins, which we all anticipate, that it is the wrong kind of predictable, and then we all know we have another year of fucking waiting. And if The Rock wins, well, fuck us. I mean, then at that point, that's going to be the scorched earth policy for me. And that'll be the end of that. As much as I would like to watch WWE, if The Rock wins this belt at WrestleMania, I'm done. Period.
Hence why you'll notice a trend when I'm doing Guess the Card later. I'm not doing a WWE card.
Okay. I am intrigued. I am definitely
because fuck
intrigued.
them.
Well, we're going to be doing a lot of cards, and the way that I figure we're going to do this, gentlemen, unless you have anything to add to this bit, JoshAgeddon, but I think that pretty much sums up what we've been saying.
I have nothing further to add. Yeah. Everything Skyler said was correct. Just depressing.
It is. It is depressing. But what is fun is us, and we like doing things together. And when we get together we will guess cards. Now, we have done this once with myself and Skyler. We've done this once with myself and JoshAgeddon. And because JoshAgeddon and Skyler do not talk off the air, I have decided to gather the three of them together, the three of them, including me, together to do this round between the two of them. So while you two have been keeping it remarkably civil,
Sean, stop killing kayfabe.
let's
Me and Skyler are friends, I swear.
Yes, of course. How could I? And so the way this is gonna work is that what we're gonna do is, in this case, one of us is gonna read the card to the other two. They could each, you can still ask questions, but each person is going to get one guess, and then we'll do the reveal. And if you want to, you could do this person is closer than that person. We're not keeping score. We're just seeing if we have any sort of brain between the three of us. So
You're allowed to ask any question, and you're also allowed to conjure any type of decision you want to, but the only thing is that stipulations for all matches have to be revealed.
right, and you have to have enough mana points to conjure up a response. And if you need to, we have ethers here that you can drink to restore your mana points. But in any case,
So with that in mind, can I go first since I'm the most sour?
well, you were I thought you were too sweet to be sour, Skyler.
Wow.
Well, I need to get some sweetness into me.
The Rock, okay, two things. AO. Two, The Rock really just damaged Skyler's one of his main gimmicks.
To be
He's
fair,
too sour to be sweet.
To be fair, he damaged all of us.
Yeah.
He damaged all of us. They all did. We done got played, fools.
Well, it's not just him, but it's WWE too, but that's a whole other thing.
Well, Skyler, why don't you kick this off and relieve our pain?
And again, as I had said at the beginning, I'm not doing a WWE card this week. Now, you'll get several other cards, which will be very interesting, but we'll go through it.
All right, lay it on us.
You get 2 pre-show matches. So the first one is a tag team match.
Okay.
It's Chris Candido and Andy Douglas versus Lex Lovett and Buck Quarterman.
Okay.
The other tag team match you get is Kid Cash and Lance Hoyt versus Cassidy Riley and Gennaro Clark.
Okay.
Now, you ready for the main show, boys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The first match is an 8-man tag team match.
Oh, no.
It's Team Canada, Petey Williams, Eric Young, Bobby Roode, and A1, which Coach D'Amore and Johnny Devine, versus 3 Live Crew, which is Conan and BG James, and America's Most Wanted, Chris Harris and James Storm.
Yup.
Got all that?
Yup.
Okay. In a singles match, Chris Sabin versus Chase Stevens with Chris Candido and Andy Douglas.
Yup.
In a Texas Bull Rope match, Dustin Rhodes versus Raven.
Yup.
In a tag team match, the Disciples of Destruction, Don Harris and Ron Harris versus Pi Delta Slam, Bruno Sassy and Big Tilly.
I'm not even writing that down. Continue.
You shouldn't.
You had me at the brotherly duo of Ron and Don.
The Nazis.
Monty Brown versus Tritan in a singles match.
He has 3
Okay,
separate
before
teams.
I get to the next 4 matches, what are you guys thinking so far? Which company is this?
I want you to
TNA.
read the whole card.
Okay. In a Falls Count Anywhere match, Jeff Hardy versus Abyss.
Yep.
In a First Blood match, The Outlaw versus Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
For the TNA X Division Championship, yes, it's TNA. For the TNA X Division Championship, AJ Styles, the champion, defending against Christopher Daniels, Ron Killings, and Alex Skipper in an Ultimate X challenge.
Okay.
And then in the main event, ringside revenge match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the defending champion Jeff Jarrett versus Diamond Dallas Page.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I know what this is, but I don't know if they had named the pay-per-view what I'm thinking they named it at the time. This is, I don't know, why don't you say what you're thinking, JoshAgeddon, before I go into it?
Well, I think this is Jeff Hardy's first run, and they're still calling it the NWA, so that tells me it's like 2003-ish, 2004-ish, 2005-ish.
Do you need a hint?
No.
I'm gonna say Bound for Glory 2003.
Okay.
You are incorrect.
Okay.
I'm not surprised.
All right. Well, here, I will lend you the hand here. It's 2005.
Okay.
It's 2005, but it's early 2005 because Candido is still alive. There are other hints about this. Team Canada at its most and at its biggest had the largest and longest run in 2005. America's Most Wanted split in 07. This is pre-Raven winning the NWA Championship, which I believed happened at Slammiversary at that year. So it had to be earlier than that. I forgot the Harris twins were even wrestling in TNA at that time, so that didn't mean anything to me. Jeff Hardy versus Abyss. This was still, as you said, this was the first TNA run. AJ and Daniels and Killings and the Ultimate X match is what really clued me into this. I believe this is Destination X 2005. I just don't remember if that's what they named the pay-per-view at that point yet. And to my knowledge, this was the one and only major DDP match that he had in TNA.
And you will be correct. It is Destination X 2005.
Let's go.
Way to go, Sean. Nice and good start.
Yes, this was...
The Ultimate X Challenge variation of Ultimate X was the only time that they used it at 2005 Destination X.
Well, it used to be that Destination X was the only place they ever had Ultimate X. And they stopped doing that, I think, in like 2010, 2011. Right in that Hogan administration, that all started to get gummed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jeff Hardy was released in 2003 and signed for TNA in June of 2004. So it was going to be one of 04, 05, or 06.
I knew it was going to be early TNA because it was still using NWA names and branding. So
yeah.
I just wanted to see if I could snip you with Jeff Hardy because he was well more known for his later run.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, you didn't like the weird LED paint that he used at the tail end of him in 2003 when he was doing stuff with Shawn Michaels?
I beg your pardon?
I beg your pardon.
I'm pretty sure Shawn Michaels may have one or two things to say about that, or at least...
Jeff did the Twist of Fate, and then Shawn responded with some sweet chin music.
Right up the butt. Oh, that wasn't what you meant. Oh, well, that was a good one. That was a good one to start with, Sky. You actually, funnily enough, when you said Candido on the pre-show, that immediately narrowed down where it was. But none of the rest of the people in that pre-show match I had ever heard of, so I had to wait until I heard other names. But like,
my brain kept going, what the fuck? During the pre-show.
And you know,
as it usually does.
Oh God, was this Candido's last pay-per-view? Oh God, it might have been. It was maybe this one or the one in April. I can't remember. I think Lethal Lockdown was there.
No, the last one was Lockdown.
Yeah. So, but this was real close. And what a shame.
So this was the second to last one.
Yeah, he had been building up momentum at that point. I mean, even in the midst of all the name competition that he had, and that Jeff Jarrett.
Although he's on a useless pre-show match.
Yeah. But you know, that's more TNA being TNA, and at least he did show up in a later spot. with Chase Stevens, so he at least was involved somewhat with that. So, why don't we move on to JoshAgeddon's pick? Please tell us what you got shot for shot.
Alrighty, I am excited. Starting with pre-show, we have R-Truth versus Zack Ryder in a singles match.
Garbage.
Wow.
Damn.
I love this mood Skyler's in. Our opening contest saw Daniel Bryan defending the WWE United States Championship against Ted DiBiase Jr.
Ugh.
Okay.
Up next, we had another singles match, John Morrison versus Sheamus.
Okay.
Next, we had the Intercontinental Championship on the line, Dolph Ziggler defending against Caval.
Oh.
Okay.
The pain from Skyler.
Look, man, that's low key sad to hear how mad that Skyler got about that.
You stop that right now.
I don't know what
The problem is that this is the era of WWE I don't know very well.
This was the first
Why do
time that TNA got mentioned on WWE programming was Caval's promo.
Yeah, and then one of the commentators were like, "You absolute moron."
Yep.
The next match is this pay-per-view named match 5-on-5. Rey
That's what I
Mysterio, The Big Show, Chris Masters, Kofi Kingston, and MVP versus Alberto Del Rio, Cody Rhodes, that poor bastard, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger, and Tyler Rex.
Oh.
That's not his name.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Hey Giselle Shaw, how you doing? Up
She's
next,
challenging for the women's championship. That's what she's doing.
she sure is.
TNA no
Up
surrender.
It's a I might surrender. Up next we have a 2-on-1 handicap match for the WWE Divas Championship. Lay Cool defending against Crazy Cat Lady Natalia.
Raw!
Yeah! Sorry. Up next we have Kane defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Edge. I'm just hurting both of you. I'm sorry. I'm so glad we were able to do this.
I just feel bad for Kane because that world championship should have been so much more important than it was, but he just is not he can't reign as champion.
He was
very much a transitional champion.
He was champion from May or August to December for a good 6 months.
Yeah. That was a long transition.
Okay, well what's the next match?
Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel defending the tag team titles against my man Santino Marella and Kozlov in a tag team.
Oh. Just keep it going. Just keep it going.
Event, Randy Orton defending the WWE title against Wade Barrett in a WWE Championship match with John Cena as the referee.
Okay, Sean, we already know what pay-per-view this is, right?
I do. Do you know the year? Because I do.
Yeah, I do. But go ahead and do it.
It's 2010.
It's Survivor Series. Fuck you, Joshua.
It damn sure is Survivor Series 2010.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why I chose this one. Even though I kind of hope the company goes bankrupt, this was the first pay-per-view I ever watched. The first wrestling pay-per-view at all I ever watched.
How you stayed a fan beyond this one is beyond me.
Hey, it's a good show. For Daniel Bryan and Ted DiBiase, John Morrison and Sheamus, Ziggler and Caval, that was 3 solid back-to-back-to-back matches. The 5-on-5 elimination match was really fun. Women. And then the show kind of fell off. And Randy Orton and Wade Barrett was pretty good. So it wasn't a bad show.
Yeah, but it still had the aftertaste of the entire Nexus getting buried.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I had 2010 SummerSlam right on it.
Yeah, that was, and now that we talk about it, you want to talk about the first major blue balling incident that really ran me off. Them not putting the world title on Wade Barrett during that run where they were taking over was one of the biggest missed opportunities they could have done.
But Sean,
Shut
they
up.
put the belt
Shut
on
up.
the
I don't
Miz
care.
the next night.
Oh, well, that's right. That made it okay. Right. I like
Yeah.
The Miz.
They should have just
That's-
given Wade
that's
Barrett
cool.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, maybe. Well, while we're on the subject of torturing people,
Oh no.
my
Sean, what have you
first
done?
one is going to be one that you both watched and you both, at least one of you regretted watching. 2 out
Oh,
of the
no.
3 of us regretted watching. And,
He's going to give us an AEW card, isn't he?
well, I don't know what you're talking about, Skyler.
I think I know exactly what AEW show he's about to give us.
We begin with the pre-show. Legit Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander.
Okay, I know what show this is.
I know what it is too.
But I want you to hear it. You have to hear it.
I don't want to hear this.
In the best match of the night, Hook defeated QT Marshall on the pre-show.
Remember when he had potential? Because I do.
Yeah, that ended basically that night.
Don't drag this thing out, Sean. Just get through the names of the 20 matches that you have.
It's only 12 this time, sir.
12,000.
The House of Black, Malachi Black, and Buddy Matthews versus Pac, Penta Oscuro, and Eric Redbeard with Alex Angelantes.
Pain.
In the opening of the show, Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho. In a 3-way tag team match for the tag team championships, Lucha Boy and Junglesaurus versus Redragon versus the Young Bucks with Brandon Cutler. In a Face of the Revolution ladder match, for a future TNT championship match,
Gotta go fast.
Christian Cage versus Keith Lee versus Orange Cassidy versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks versus the eventual winner Wardlow, which he went on to do great things with.
Oh yeah.
For the Hose Championship, the TBS Championship, Jade Cargill with Mark Sterling versus Ty Conti
Oh, you mean the Lip and Labia lockup?
in a dog collar match. CM Punk versus MJF.
Back when CM Punk didn't break into a million pieces after one match.
In a
Before he transformed into Mr. Glass from Unbreakable.
That's right. It's in a singles match for the Women's Championship, Dr. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa.
I remember that match was awful.
In a singles match, Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson.
Mm.
In a 6-man tornado tag team match,
Ah!
Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting versus the Andrade.
You can't even say it.
The Andrade Hardy family office. Andrade El Idolo,
God.
Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy with Jose the assistant. And in a singles match for the AEW World Championship, Adam Page versus Adam Cole.
We want Adam. We want Adam.
The biggest
look at me.
the biggest thing I remember from this paper. Would one of you like to disclose which one I've chosen?
Revolution 2022. Fuck you.
Yes, the thing I remember the most about this is Orange Cassidy coming in last, rolling into the ring, and just rolling all the way out to the other side of the ring.
I do remember that.
That's the only.
See, here's the thing, Sean, is that like I'm gonna also say I'm not doing an AEW card because fuck you.
Because you don't feel like vomiting.
This was.
Look at that card that he just gave us.
You want me to read it
That is-
again?
You couldn't even skip through it without a straight face on.
Imagine
couldn't.
booking this card.
I couldn't. Yeah, and sadly, this was when they felt maybe the most coherent.
This was the beginning of the end, if you remember.
Well, yeah. But in any case, Skyler, why don't you rev up our spirits, Krusty Crew?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do a card that one of you is gonna have absolutely no help in, but the other one may guess.
Old school card. Can't wait.
All right, so, but here's the thing: is that the pain doesn't stop. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, it's
This is
WCW.
just going to be the most painful show we've ever done.
Yeah, we didn't need to talk about The Rock. The pain was in plenty portion here today.
Yes.
So, in a King of the Ring double ring battle royal match,
What in
the Skyscrapers win. Brian Pillman versus Bill Irwin.
Okay.
In a tag team match, the Skyscrapers, Sid Vicious, and Dan Spivey versus the Dynamic Dudes, Shane Douglas and Johnny Ace.
Ooh. Oh, god damn.
I don't know about this Johnny Ace dude. He doesn't seem fuckable enough to be on the show.
He wasn't. That's why
And-
he got the position he did.
In a tuxedo match, Jim Cornette versus Paul E. Dangerously.
Yes. Oh.
In a
okay.
Texas Tornado match, the Steiner brothers with Missy Hyatt versus the Varsity Club, Kevin Sullivan and Mike Rotunda.
Yep.
For the World Television Championship, Sting, defending champion with Eddie Gilbert, versus the Great Muta with Gary Hart. For the United States Heavyweight Championship, Lex Luger, the champion, defending against Ricky Steamboat. In a War Games match, the Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, and Steve Williams versus the Fabulous Freebirds and the Samoan SWAT team. And for the World Heavyweight Championship, the champion Ric Flair versus Terry Funk.
Okay,
I
so
figure this is one of them WCW pay-per-views.
It is, and I believe this is 1989, and I don't remember.
Up.
It's either
It was not WCW yet.
Oh, was it NWA?
Now you have the year correct, but it's not WCW.
It's still technically Crockett, but it's not technically called Crockett anymore. It wasn't initially purchased yet.
So it was produced by WCW, but under the NWA banner.
Right.
Mm.
This was.
So the pay-per-view name is going to be NWA, but I will confirm it's 1989.
Yeah, I just can't remember. Is this well?
I mean, they only have 4 pay-per-view names, and the fact that it's a War Games match is a pretty big hint.
Yeah, but they hadn't called it Fall Brawl yet, had they? In '89? No, because they had. So what did they have? They had Starrcade, which I don't think Corny and Paul E was at Starrcade. They had the Bash. They had the Clash of Champions, I believe, when they were doing that tour. And this was right as Dusty was about to be phased, or no, he was phased out of the booking because Flair had taken over the book.
Yeah, and Dusty Rhodes is not there, so this is the middle of 1989.
Yeah, it's. I don't think this is the Chi-Town Rumble. I think this has got to be.
Weird.
What's that?
Well, Joshua, what are you thinking?
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
But you know the pay-per-view names, and it's one of the big ones, so you can throw out a name and it'll be a good guess.
I still think that this is. I think this is the Great American Bash. I don't know why I get the feeling because that's the summer tour they were doing.
It is the Great American Bash, 1989.
Let's fucking go.
Damn. Damn.
Let's
Good
go.
one, Sean.
Oh man.
I mean, again, like if you know your WCW and NWA names, and I say it's one of the big ones, the ones that are the big ones are the Great American Bash, Halloween Havoc, and Starrcade.
Yep. And the thing about this one is that the thing that clued me in on this was actually Johnny Ace, because the Dynamic Dudes run was not long. It did
Wonder
not
why.
last. Yeah, why? Yeah, who's surprise? And the Corny and Paulie Tuxedo match, that was right in the middle of their feud with the original Midnight, which did not last longer than 1989, because then they tried to turn the Midnight babyface, which is what led to this, and it just didn't work and it didn't last. And then by then Cornette went to go start Smoky Mountain, and and that's kind of where we end up with that. The fact that Steamboat's still there pretty much confirmed 1989, because he wasn't around. I guess he was for a little bit longer after that, but Vader wasn't there yet, but the Skyscrapers were. So, there were a few little hints in here. And I remember Terry Funk coming out to a very interesting set of blue leathers for this match that he had with Flair. But it's a good match. It's a good show. I remember enjoying it. Mostly.
Although, like, a tuxedo match with Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman
It's better than you think. It's better than you think. It's funny, though.
I mean, it's a chance to see Paul Heyman and Jim Cornette be naked, which I'm sure Joshua enjoyed.
Well,
How did you know I already had a boner?
well, the funniest part is not that. But the funniest part is that Jim Cornette had just fallen off the scaffold, so he only had he blew one of the ACLs on the way to the ring, and he said, it sell that leg, so Jim couldn't move around as much, so when he comes down, you can see him waddling down to the ring, and immediately Heyman starts hitting the wrong leg for Jim to sell, so then Jim has to sell both legs, because then he goes, wrong leg, and then so Paulie starts hitting the other leg, and now Jim's got to sell both legs, and it's more fun than you think. Steiner's and Varsity Club is terrific, too. There's a lot of really good work on this show, and the Skyscrapers.
I'm glad you knew where the bad match was.
Oh, that was not in doubt. There's a reason that went first, as it related to what was going on. But, JoshAgeddon, it is your turn.
It sure is. We're going back to the Fed, guys. WWE.
Hooray!
He's going to give us a bad pay-per-view watch.
Pre-show match. R-Truth versus Shelton Benjamin.
If you said R-Truth versus Zack Ryder again. Well, okay, I'm sorry, continue.
Our opening contest. Tommy Dreamer
Yes.
defending the ECW championship against Christian, Finley, Jack Swagger, and Mark Henry in a championship scramble match.
Oh.
Up next, we have Chris Jericho defending the WWE Intercontinental Championship against Rey Mysterio in a title versus mask match.
Okay.
Up next, we have Dolph Ziggler versus the Great Khali in a no DQ match.
I'm sure
Yeah,
that was a
keep going
terrific
with-
match.
It was fun.
Keep going with this 2008 WWE pay-per-view.
Up next, we have the Colognes, Carlito and Primo, defending the unified WWE tag team titles against Chris Jericho and Edge, and the Legacy.
Wait, Chris Jericho's in back-to-back matches?
You heard correctly. The Legacy, that poor bastard Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase in a triple threat tag team match.
Oh, yeah, this match. Okay. Keep going.
Melina defending the women's championship against Michelle McCool. CM Punk defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Jeff Hardy. John Cena versus ya boy, The Miz. And in the main event, Randy Orton defending the WWE Championship against Triple H in a 3 stages of hell match.
Oh, yeah.
I did that specifically to pop you,
Yeah,
Sean.
you sure did. You sure did. Well,
Well,
you
this
see,
is a mid-2008 WWE pay-per-view.
well, you see, Orton and Triple H work so slow, it feels like 7. No, this is 2009. This is 100%
No, it
2009.
Would it be 2009?
Yeah, because CM Punk was just starting to form the Straight Edge Society. Orton versus Triple H in the 3 stages of hell was after the whole home invasion thing. Cena and The Miz was, I mean, this was, yeah, I remember this pick. Jericho and Ray for the tag titles was.
No, Jericho and Ray for the Intercontinental title.
The Intercontinental title, but Jericho and Edge for the tag titles.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Jericho lost the IC title. Then
late 2008. It could be late 2008, but I really do think that this is after. And yeah, this was before they did the.
No, this is 2009. You're right, because I forget that this is after Mania.
Yeah, it's
Give me your guesses.
this is whatever they did in October or September of 2009.
No, it's a little bit earlier.
Well, because it can't be. It's not SummerSlam. Is it SummerSlam?
No, it's not SummerSlam.
That's when Jeff won the I'm sorry, yeah, Jeff beat Edge.
That's when Taker came back.
Right.
And that's the thing, is that Taker's not here. Neither is Shawn Michaels, so it's not in the fall. This is sometime in the spring.
Yeah, this year's SummerSlam was CM Punk and Jeff in a TLC match.
Right, and CM Punk wins, and then Undertaker comes back. So it's a spring 2009 pay-per-view. So they had Extreme Rules. They had Payback. No, they didn't have Payback.
They didn't have Payback. It's whatever that July.
Is it Backlash? Backlash is one of the ones.
It is not Backlash.
No.
Well, hold on. That wasn't an official guess.
It's whatever the July.
Damn it! I just lost my guess. Damn it!
It's whatever the July pay-per-view is, and I just don't remember because they switched things around so far, like a lot that time. Is this?
Wait, it wouldn't be Extreme Rules because there's no Extreme Rules match.
No, and Extreme Rules 09 had the bonking incident of Great Khali and Natalya. And maybe that's
that was Backlash. You're thinking of Khali and Beth Phoenix.
Oh, that was Beth Phoenix.
What was that?
I'm a happily married man.
I'm a married man. So this has got, it's the June and July. I don't think they were doing Vengeance at that point yet. But this was in that realm of vicinity. Was this the first year they did Over the Limit?
No, Over the Limit was the following year.
Sean, we did that one on Guess the Card, episode 1.
Yes, and it still hurts me. So if Tommy Dreamer's still ECW champion, I guess then it has to. Yeah, it's whatever that June pay-per-view is. Dick Dongle 2009.
How did you know?
Jeez, I just don't remember that because they were starting. That was when they started switching stuff around. So they had Backlash, they had Extreme Rules, they had.
Well, I guess Backlash, and Backlash wasn't right.
They had Butter My Undershorts.
That was a weird show.
That was a weird show. Jeez, I don't remember the name of it. It's whatever they did for 2009 in July. It's not Vengeance. It's because they wouldn't have. They got rid of Judgment Day. They got rid of No Mercy. They got rid of all of the good ones.
I know that's so sad. And this was the year they started like, let's remove the good name pay-per-views and start doing the gimmick pay-per-views.
Yeah, and this.
Okay, I have a question. Is this a good name pay-per-view or a bad name pay-per-view in your opinion?
It's kind of
Okay, so this was a boring one.
The pay-per-view I thought was actually pretty good, even though the main event kind of went long because Triple H.
Yeah, take a guess who was in it. Like it. Because this was and then you know what happened after this is Triple H got into the feud with Legacy, and then he asked Shawn to come back, and they did their diddly dongle. Yeah.
Okay, what's this pay-per-view, Joshua?
I don't remember the name.
It is The Bash.
Oh,
That's why.
They removed the Great American, and it was just
they just removed
Bash.
Great American and just did Bash.
Just
Yeah.
The Bash. Yeah. That would be why I didn't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
So, was this a June or July pay-per-view?
It
July,
was,
I believe.
a June pay-per-view,
Oh.
June 28th.
What was the pay-per-view after?
The pay-per-view after was Night of Champions.
Yes.
Right, because they did Night of Champions in July, and then they did SummerSlam.
And WWE also did a Judgment. This was also the year they did the last Judgment Day pay-per-view before they decided to turn that into a faction.
What a time to be
Cool.
existing.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen. I've got one that's very timely given our state of professional wrestling.
It's gonna have The Rock on it.
No, not quite. But metaphorically, yes. In a dark match, Tito Santana versus Papa Shango for the Intercontinental Championship. Tatanka with Sensational Sherry versus Shawn Michaels with Luna Vachon.
This is fine.
The Steiners,
This feels very new generation era.
Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner versus the Head Shrinkers, Samu and Fatu with Afa. Doink the Clown versus Crush. Here's a fun one. Razor Ramon versus Bob Backlund for the Tag Team Championships. Ted DiBiase and IRS, Money Inc. versus the Mega Maniacs, Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake with Jimmy Hart. In a one-on-one match, Lex Luger versus Mr. Perfect. In a one-on-one match, The Undertaker with Paul Bearer versus Giant Gonzalez with Harvey.
Oh.
My everything hurts.
Also known as Omos.
Bodysuit Omos.
And in a singles match for the World Championship, Yokozuna versus Bret Hart.
Okay.
And in
fuck
a
you,
singles
Sean.
match for the World Championship, Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna with Mr. Fuji.
Fuck you.
This is the second worst WrestleMania after WrestleMania 40.
No, this is not WrestleMania. This is SummerSlam.
Oh, it's not.
Wait, is it WrestleMania?
It's WrestleMania 9.
It's WrestleMania 9, Sky.
I thought it was SummerSlam.
It's
Whatever.
WrestleMania.
Fuck you, Sean.
The second worst WrestleMania ever after WrestleMania 40.
Yeah. So just to remind everybody where this original booking idea came from, it's here.
I'd rather watch that show than WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, especially with that Giant Gonzalez match. That was that
At
match.
least he didn't get blown up during his entrance.
That match ended with Giant Gonzalez chloroforming the Undertaker for a disqualification.
It sure did.
That was
It
so
sure
ridiculous.
did. Dude, I would actually like Omos if he just whipped out
Just
a chloroform rag.
people. Dude, you're the tallest, biggest dude. You don't need it. No, I lose every time I appear. Yes, I do need it. Yeah. All right. So, hey, you having fun yet, guys?
This might be my favorite of the three Guess the Cards we've
All right,
done.
Skyler, it's your turn.
Well, I'm gonna give you some pain. All right.
Wow, what a switch up from the past
and now
several
for
cards.
something completely different.
All right. But this pain is gonna be something that I feel Sean is gonna like. It's gonna hurt his soul.
Oh, uh-oh. Well, yeah, well, we already did an AEW show.
Well, it's gonna get worse.
Oh.
Can it?
So, the first match is Jason Jett versus Kiwi.
You mean Kiwi?
Kiwi, whatever. But I'm saying Kiwi. Fuck you.
That Frieza henchman?
He would
No.
have been better as one.
For the inaugural WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team Championships,
Oh my god, why would you make that a belt?
Elix Skipper and Kid Romero versus the Filthy Animals, Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio Jr. In a singles match, Sean Stasiak with Stacy Keibler versus Bam Bam Bigelow.
Okay.
In a tag team match, Team Canada, Lance Storm and Mike Awesome versus Hugh Morris and Conan. For the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, Chavo Guerrero Jr. versus Shane Helm.
Okay.
For the WCW Tag Team Championships, the Natural Born Thrillers, Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo versus Totally Buffed, Lex Luger and Buff Bagwell.
Wow.
In a singles match, Ernest Miller with Miss Jones versus Canyon. I know that's not his name, but I'm saying it that way.
Wow. That was a solid joke right there. I approve.
For the WCW United States Championship, Rick Steiner, the champion, versus Booker T. In a tag team match, Dustin and Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair and Jeff Jarrett. And in the main event for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, in a Falls Count Anywhere match, Scott Steiner, the champion, defending against Diamond Dallas Page.
Okay. Here's the thing. There's a little bit of this that makes me think this is way late stage WCW. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a time that, I believe at this point, the ship had been very much sinking and was well on its way out. It's just because Elix Skipper wasn't there until like late 2000 and then maybe into 2001. I'm going to guess that this is Sin.
This is not WCW Sin.
Okay. Then it has to be the
Well, your guess is gone now, so it's just
JoshAgeddon's
Joshua.
not going to get it, so I'm getting 2.
Josh, again, this is 2001 WCW.
Oh God, 2000. Oh man, they are on death's door.
Yeah, that's what Sin was.
The name is very, very close to something that is a sin.
Oh, this is really funny. I had this on my list. Now that you mention it, this is on my list. I didn't even read the card when I had it, but yeah.
Is this the very last pay-per-view WCW ever did?
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
It's March 18th, 2001 at the Jacksonville Memorial Coliseum.
So it's something similar to Sin.
So it
Is
died
like,
where Tony Khan began.
is it like one of the 7 deadly sins?
Yeah.
Yes.
Greed?
Good
It is
guess.
WCW 2001 Greed.
What?
Yeah.
That was a guess.
Yep.
Wow.
Greed.
Well, you hinted me into it.
I basically gave you 7 options.
Well, that's funny because
It's
I had this.
WCW Sloth.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to that one. Actually, that's what they ended up turning into. But
Oh,
yep,
man.
that's funny because I have this card.
WCW Wrath would have been a good pay-per-view.
I don't know, but I was looking forward to Gluttony.
Yeah, that's where we got fat people
AEW.
wrestling. All right, Josh, again, you're up.
All right. Are you guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
Our pre-show match is the... Okay, well, all right. I don't know. It is a Rumble match of some description on the pre-show.
You could have just said Battle Royal.
It is a Battle Royal.
Okay.
In our opening contest, we have Redragon, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles against Matt Seidel and Ricochet and Roppongi Vice and the Young Bucks in a 4-way tag team match.
Hard pass.
Our next match is Chaos, Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, and Toru Yano versus the Bullet Club because they are still around. Remember this dude?
Why do you gotta give us this New Japan card?
Maybe.
It's not necessarily New
Tamatanga
Japan.
and
No, it's New Japan.
Yujiro Takahashi.
Yep, keep going.
Jay Lethal defending the ROH World Championship against Michael Elgin.
See?
Kenny Omega defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against Kushida.
Yeah, this is a New Japan card. Fuck you.
Bullet Club, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson defending the IWGP Tag Team titles against GBH, Toji Makabe, and Tomokai Hanma. Hiroki Goto versus my boy Tetsuya Naito.
So how do you lose his
Tomohiro-
10th toe?
Tomohiro Ishii defending the Never Openweight Championship against Katsuyori Shibata, back when he still had a brain.
R.I.P.
Shinsuke Nakamura defending the IWGP Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles.
Oh, is this that match?
And in the main event, Okada defending the IWGP Heavyweight Championship against Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Okay, so this is one of those Wrestle Kingdoms. I just don't remember what year.
Is this 10?
Well, hold on. Don't, before you guess, because my New Japan's a little bit better than yours.
Is it
Oh.
10?
It is Wrestle Kingdom 10 for
Fuck
what
you,
year?
Skyler. Suck my ass.
What year was
We're
it?
not going to discuss my way out of the correct answer.
We're not negotiating.
Okay, so 2015?
No, this... it was the...
2014 then.
Nope. Skyler,
What?
you're going the wrong fucking way.
2016? That late?
Yeah, this was like one of AJ's last matches before he joined WWE.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're trying to date Nakamura. That's the hard part.
Well, he showed up, what? At the end of that year, right? He got signed at the same time, I think, at the same deal with him and Gallows and Anderson. All 4 of those guys
No,
got signed at
Nakamura
the same
came
time.
later.
No. Was Takeover Dallas was when Nakamura debuted. That wasn't that like the day before WrestleMania.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
all signed at the same time. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Is it was that group of 4. They just debuted at different times.
Yeah.
But yes, that was because then it was either what was it 2 years later that we got Kenny and Jericho, or was it the year after? No, yes, it was the year. It was that year because
I believe so.
it was 2018. It was Wrestle Kingdom 12 because Jericho was still tied in with the list in 2017.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm not gonna lie, I'm impressed that you got the number, Sean, because usually the number is really hard.
well, it was weird kind of dating my way back, but the fact that Kenny Omega was not at the top yet kind of put a cap on where it was. You know, for as major as as expansive as my New Japan knowledge is, clearly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get it right.
I'm not gonna lie. I am impressed, Sean. I am impressed.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna go back to Pain.
Oh no.
And this one I will say is not a. This is more of a cult classic than a pay-per-view done by anyone of repute. So this is more a notorious pay-per-view, and we'll see if you can guess which one it is.
Oh no.
2011 Victory Road.
No. That's your guess. You didn't even finish the card. All right, Josh.
Skyler, put your dick back in your pants.
All right, Josh, again, here's the card.
All right.
The Samoan SWAT team, Samu and the Samoan Savage, with Paul Adams and Sika, versus Marty Jannetty and Tommy Rogers.
Oh dear God.
Oh,
Oh dear.
I already know what show this is.
In a one-on-one match, George the Animal Steel versus Greg Valentine with Sensational Sherry. In a singles match, Too Cold Scorpio versus Julio Fantastico. In a tag team match, the Men Down Under, Bushwhacker Butch and Bushwhacker Luke, defeated the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov with Nikita Breznikov. In a one-on-one match, Tully Blanchard versus Stan Lane. In a one-on-one match, Abdullah the Butcher with Honest John Cheatham versus One Man Gang.
I feel like I know what this show is.
In a one-on-one match, Jimmy Snuka with Captain Lou Albano versus Bob Orton Jr. And in the tag team match main event, Jim Neidhart and King Kong Bundy versus Jake the Snake Roberts and Yokozuna.
Oh.
Is this Heroes of Wrestling?
This is Heroes of Wrestling 1999. Oh, Lord.
Oh no.
Oh, no, indeed.
When you said
No,
notorious event, not quite a pay-per-view, my brain immediately went, oh God, is it Heroes of Wrestling? And then you started listening and I was like, yep.
I mean, here's the thing. I know I joked about Victory Road 2011, but I wish it was Victory Road because God, Heroes of Wrestling.
Dude.
Well, I mean, it did both shows have people that are intoxicated.
Well, I will say this. Tully Blanchard and Stan Lane was actually not bad. For the 7-minute match that the two veterans had, it was not bad. Everything else, ass.
What, you didn't-
Unbelievable ass.
You didn't like barely conscious Jake Roberts?
Dude, everyone there was either 100 pounds more overweight than they were or so drugged up you could not possibly yell their name and them understand them.
Or both.
Or both. And, I mean, you just, oh, God. That's a who's who of Dark Side. That's the Dark Side of the Ring pay-per-view. How come we haven't had a Dark Side of the Ring on that pay-per-view alone?
I know. I was about to say, why haven't we got? Maybe that's a future episode.
Dude, you know what?
It'll be a future episode.
It just occurred to me, we should have seen this coming when we should have seen what AEW was going to be about. Because remember in their first promos that they made for Double or Nothing, they had Jake Roberts at a card table dealing cards to do the promo. And he said his promo in Heroes of Wrestling, you have 21, I'll hit 22. And we should have known then what was coming with AEW.
We were young and dumb.
Just a slobbering mess.
Yeah, it sure is.
All right.
All right, Skyler.
Ready for this one?
This is number 4 from you.
Yep, and I don't think you guys are going to get this one, but we'll see how it
We'll
goes.
see how it goes. I haven't been.
Gives us a random ROH pay-per-view.
Nah, I'm not that divisive. So there's a pre-show match, which is a tag team gauntlet to determine the number one contender for the tag team championships. The people in it are Bad Influence, Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez, Eric Young and Joseph Park, and the eventual winners, the Bromans, Jesse Godderz and Robbie E.
Oh yeah, this happened. Continue.
All right. And an Ultimate X match for the TNA X Division Championship. Manic, the champion, versus Austin Aries, Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, and Chris Sabin.
Ow.
You can smell the TNA from here, huh, Sean?
It hurts. It has such an impact.
Oh.
Shut the fuck up.
For the TNA World Tag Team Championships, the Bromans versus Gunner and James Storm.
Go ahead.
In a three-way TNA Knockouts Championship match.
Oh, good lord.
The champion ODB versus Gail Kim.
Oh, God, no.
And Brooke Tessmacher, or Brooke as she's named here.
Who was the second person in that, Sky?
Gail Kim.
Right.
It's ODB versus Gail Kim versus Brooke Tessmacher, or Brooke.
Great.
In a singles match, Bobby Roode versus Kurt Angle.
Yep.
In another singles match, Ethan Carter III versus Norv Furman.
Oh, I remember this.
A.K.A. the future Peter Avalon.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
My
God.
brain hurts.
In a singles match, Magnus versus Sting.
Okay.
And then in a no disqualification match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, the champion Bully Ray versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, I know what show this is.
This was
Well,
what? This was 2013, wasn't it? Because this was right as AJ Styles was gonna win the belt, and then feud with Magnus, and then Dixie was gonna get involved, and then the whole company would be shot to complete shit. And this is after Dixie literally dragged on Hogan's foot as Hogan left the company. Oh, the real question is this their biggest show of the year, JoshAgeddon?
I'm not answering that question.
Well, Joshua, what's the guess?
It's Bound for Glory 2013.
Yeah.
It is Bound for Glory 2013.
That's what I thought. We were, yes.
What match gave it away?
Well,
EC3 versus Jobber.
well, there were actually a few giveaways here. I think the Bromans, they had only like a certain window, as did Chavo and Hernandez, because that was before like the Beatdown Clan era. Magnus versus Sting was right before Magnus was really starting to turn heel.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Does ODB stand for one drunk bitch?
Dirty bitch.
One dirty bitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is ODB a good wrestler?
She had a good gimmick. She had a good gimmick. But I think
that's not the same thing.
You're right. But that's still my answer.
Me and Sean have vastly different opinions on her gimmick.
It worked for the type of demographic they were after. I thought all the Conan
it worked for
stuff
TNA.
left a lot to be desired, but I never had a problem with ODB. Her work was okay enough to pass, because she's still like, her personality got over somewhat, you know.
I remember her and Cody Deaner dry humping in 2009 that one time.
As they were the Knockouts Tag Team Champions? Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is it no coincidence that within like a year and a half's time of those women's tag titles showing up, that 2 men had already held them? Does that not just say all you need to know?
Yeah.
But all right. Well, that was a good one, Sky. It was TNA. What a time to nearly almost die, and yet somehow is the company with the most hope in 2024.
What a timeline.
JoshAgeddon, you are up.
Is this my number 4?
This is your number 4.
Are you ready for more pain?
Why did you stop the pain?
Pre-show match.
R-Truth
Brodus Clay versus David Otunga.
Fuck you.
Our opening contest. Sheamus defending the World Heavyweight title against Dolph Ziggler.
Wait, hold on. What title was that?
The World Heavyweight title.
Oh, okay.
Up next, I can't believe we've mentioned 2 kinds of this match on this show. Santino Marella versus Ricardo Rodriguez in a tuxedo match.
I am so thankful whatever this pay-per-view is, I did not watch it.
We have gotten 2 tuxedo matches tonight. I feel blessed.
I would rather watch Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman actually fuck than watch Santino and Ricardo Rodriguez in a tuxedo match.
Let me put it this way. I would rather watch Santino Marella versus Ricardo Rodriguez in a tuxedo match than The Rock versus Roman Reigns. But anyway, I was about to say before Cody Rhodes gets butt fucked, but speaking of the devil, up next is Christian defending the Intercontinental title against that poor bastard Cody Rhodes.
Question.
Oh, my heart hurts.
Mine does too, man. What was your question, Skyler?
No, continue.
All right. Oh, God. Up next in a fatal 4-way tag team match to determine the number 1 contenders for the tag team titles. The primetime players.
Yes!
Darren Young and your boy Titus.
Yes. I'm just writing Titus.
with Abraham Washington.
No.
Oh.
Just
All world versus Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd, Primo and Epico and the Usos. Up next we have Layla defending the Divas title against Beth Phoenix.
Christ.
It doesn't stop. Up next we have Sin Cara versus Hunico.
Christ.
With Camacho. Up next, we have CM Punk defending the WWE title against Daniel Bryan and Kane in a triple threat match.
Yep.
Up next, we have our boy Ryback versus Dan Delaney and Rob Grimes in a handicap match.
What?
It was just Ryback squash thing.
And in our main event, John Cena versus The Big Show in a steel cage match.
Okay, this is some 2012 WWE pay-per-view.
That was my assumption as well, was 2012. That is as far as my knowledge goes.
Okay, so this is after Cody Rhodes was dashing and undashing and just turned into regular Cody Rhodes again.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me indigestion thinking about Cena and the Big Show headlining a pay-per-view in 2012.
Over CM Punk.
Was that just a regular match between Cena and Show?
It was a steel cage match.
No, but like Cena wasn't champion, right?
No, CM Punk was champion.
It was just
this was the string of pay-per-views where CM Punk was the champion and John Cena just main evented anyways.
Yep.
Yes. Because Cena's the star, CM Punk is the champion for the losers out there.
But this was before CM Punk feuded against Kane, right?
This was mid-Kane feud. This was during the whole AJ Lee wants to fuck everyone angle.
Oh, that one. Okay. This is before SummerSlam because Team Hell No's not a thing. It's after Mania, but that's... Ugh. It's not Money in the Bank.
Is this the Great American 2012?
No. And Skyler, it's the pay-per-view before Money in the Bank.
But it's not Extreme Rules, so there's no Extreme Rules match. Oh, Lord. Because by 2012, they had gone away with the pay-per-views that they normally did, so this wasn't like a Backlash or Payback or whatever.
Now, are there any limits on this card, JoshAgeddon?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
did they go over the limit?
No, this is not Over the Limit.
Okay, that was Scott's guess.
This was the pay-per-view after Over the Limit 2012.
Over the limit.
Right beside the limit.
So that makes it.
By the way,
June?
Abraham Washington, this was when he got fired for the Kobe Bryant joke.
Yep.
Right before.
They should have just called this show Perpendicular to the Limit.
So this is so. When were they doing Money in the Bank? Was that still in June? Then? Or was that in July? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was in July.
It was in July. Money in the Bank was in July.
This pay-per-view is in June.
This pay-per-view is in June. I don't know. What do you got, Sky? Any words or phrases?
I already made my guess, so you're on your own, buddy.
I'll say Indigestion 2012.
No Way Out 2012.
They did make it No Way Out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was like the one and only time they ever did that in June.
Yeah. This was the year they brought it back and then killed it the following year.
Yep. I remember that.
This is what the Elimination Chamber should be called.
That'd be nice.
It's like that 5 pay-per-view month span where John Cena main evented a pay-per-view over CM Punk, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, John Cena versus John Laurinaitis, John Cena versus Big Show, John Cena in a Money in the Bank match.
Mm-hmm. Where he accidentally broke the thing while he was whacking Big Show with it, and they were like, "Oh, he won! Let's go off the air."
Yep.
Well, that's why they changed the way that they hold Money in the Bank.
That was the most boring, lamest Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
So you have fat old Big Show and fat old Kane, and you had Chris Jericho and The Miz, who was the most athletic of the 5 people.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that is a true statement.
And this was right as Chris Jericho was starting to turn into a bit of a twig in the ring. You know that he's
so bizarre saying that nowadays.
Yeah, I know. He's literally like he and Jonah Hill must hang out all the time.
And which one?
Yes, both.
Both of them.
Both. Well,
oh, God.
Speaking of, I'm gonna. Hopefully, this won't be painful, but it might be painful. We've got another a show. Here we go. Here's my number 4. During this show, there was a tag team tournament called Deuces Wild. In the first match, Team 3D, Brother Devon and Brother Ray, versus James Storm and Sting with Jackie Moore.
Oh, Jackie Moore.
I like Jackie Moore. What's wrong with Jackie Moore? She got titties, and she was
not Jackie less.
No.
Yeah,
no.
But she wasn't good.
She was straight up. She was Jackie straight, not Jackie Gata. So, in the next match, Christian Cage and Rhino versus Booker T and Robert Roode. In another Deuces Wild Tag Tournament quarterfinal match, LAX, Hernandez and Homicide with Hector Guerrero defeated Kip James and Matt Morgan. Wow, what a team that is. In a tag match, AJ Styles and Super Eric versus PG James and Awesome Kong.
Oh.
Oh man, this gets better. In a Terror Dome to determine the #1 contender to the X Division Championship and take Kurt Angle's place in the main event. Kaz versus Alex Shelley versus Chris Sabin versus Consequences Creed versus Curryman versus Jay Lethal versus Jimmy Ray versus Johnny Divine versus Shark Boy versus Sanjay Dutt.
How many people are in that? How many people and how many gimmicks are in this match?
That's in the Terror Dome,
Yes.
brother. All right, in the Deuces Wild Tag Tournament semifinals, Team 3D versus Christian Cage and Rhino. In the tag semifinal match, LAX with Hector Guerrero defeated AJ Styles and Super Eric. Oh, jeez. In a 10-women TNA Knockouts Makeover Battle Royal to determine the #1 contender to the TNA Women's Knockout Championship.
You can't even say the name.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
There's not enough Tylenol. There's not enough ibuprofen. There's not enough morphine.
Wait until
There's not enough Jesus.
Wait until
Jesus has
you hear
left.
these participants. Gail Kim defeated Gail Kim defeated Angelina Love, Christy Hemme, Jackie Moore, ODB, Salinas, Raka Khan, Roxy Laveau, Tracy Brooks, and Velvet Sky.
Oh.
I might actually vomit.
In the Deuces Wild Tag Tournament Final for the vacant TNA Tag Team Championships, LAX, with Hector Guerrero, defeated Team 3D, Brother Devon and Brother Ray. And in a triple threat match, a 3-way match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, Samoa Joe versus Kaz versus Scott Steiner with Petey Williams and Raka Khan.
Oh.
This card gave me a kidney stone.
Oh,
Well, this is not sacrifice because Kurt Angle ain't there and 33 2/3 chance.
are you sure about that, Skyler?
Is this sacrifice? Is this sacrifice?
What year?
2008.
It is Sacrifice 2008.
Thanks for passing this one off to me. Like,
Wait, why was it
Cody
sacrifice?
Rhodes. Skyler's
Wait.
Cody Rhodes. I'm The Rock. That's a nice guess you got there. I'm gonna take it.
It was sacrifice?
Yeah?
But what happened to Kurt Angle?
I don't know, something.
I'm so glad you sacrificed.
He
your
was
guess,
injured. He got
Tyler.
injured prior to the event, which is why they made that gimmick X Division Terror Dome for the
Dear
who's going
God.
to take Kurt Angle's place. And Kazarian
Yeah.
somehow got that.
Oh, yeah, the promo was cut before Kurt Angle's injury. Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Was the Terror Dome that electrified cage thing that they did?
No, that was later because that was against LAX and Team 3D. So I think it might have been the pay-per-view after this that they did that. Yeah, they
you
were
can smell
getting-
a Vince.
They
You
were
can
getting-
smell a Vince Russo from here.
Yeah.
I want to see the Terror Dome and the Thunder Dome with Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Dude, y'all's reaction to that 10-woman makeover knockouts battle royal was one of the funniest things that has happened on this channel. That was terrific.
That the sounds you heard were two men burning in hell.
It was literally agony. It was pure agony, and I was here for it.
Absolute pure disgust.
Well, Skyler, bring us home here. You got it's your 5th one. We're gonna do one last round and call it a night.
And book therapy appointments.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna do a WWE pay-per-view.
You
okay.
you lied then. You lied to us at the beginning. Well, you bait and switcher.
I'm gonna bait and switch you because fuck you for the pain that you just gave me. Because I'm gonna give you some pain.
This is the year of god awful pivots.
Dude, we have literally been doing nonstop pain all night. Like we saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you pain, and then we've just been making progressively worse cards.
While our sanity deteriorates.
Well, I'm gonna end with maybe the worst one yet.
Oh no.
So the pre-show has a 20-man battle royal, and the winner faces AJ Styles for the United States Championship later on in the night.
Okay.
Oh no.
The first match is Brock Lesnar defending the WWE Championship against Cain Velasquez.
Oh!
Oh my lord. All right, get it over with.
Let's do this.
A tag team turmoil match featuring Graham Metalik and Lindsay Dorado, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker, the B Team, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Big E, and the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, and the eventual winners, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
Oh. Ow.
Mansoor versus Cesaro. Braun Strowman versus Tyson Fury.
My God.
AJ Styles defending the United States Championship against Humberto Carrillo.
Whoever that is.
I remember that match. I remember Humberto Carrillo and how, yeah, he's not good.
Well, now he's just on WWE as Berto.
And his wife, Ernie. They wear orange and yellow matching outfits.
Well, speaking of matching outfits, Natalya versus Lacey Evans.
Jesus Christ.
A 10-man tag team match. Roman Reigns, Rusev, Ricochet, Shorty G, and Mustafa Ali with Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart representing Team Hogan.
Oh my God.
Versus Randy Orton, Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Drew McIntyre with Ric Flair representing Team Flair.
Oh my God.
That aged like a fine wine.
And in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the WWE Universal Championship with the stipulation that the match could not have been stopped for any reason, Seth Rollins versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt.
God damn it.
Happy Halloween.
I watched this show live while I was at Winthrop. I remember this. It was Crown Jewel 2019. Fuck you, Skyler.
Man.
Listen, he gave us Heroes of Wrestling. I gave you the modern version of it.
You're not wrong.
That pay-per-view. My God. And this was when The Fiend... We thought it was so stupidly obvious The Fiend was going to win on Halloween, and I forgot that Team Hogan and Team Flair match in a which one of our team leaders is scummier match.
Yeah.
Oh, well, turns out the answer was the Booker, but we didn't know that at the time.
No, the Booker was Vince, so we knew.
Well, we didn't. Yeah, but we didn't know yet.
But I mean, Team Hogan won that match.
Of course, because Hogan ain't doing no jobs. Flair would occasionally.
Especially with Ric Flair.
Yeah. Especially to
Jim,
Ric Flair.
are you guys ready for some more pain?
No. Yeah, hit us with a change of pace.
This pre-show match was Aiden English versus Ty Dillinger.
No.
Okay.
Our opening contest was The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
All right, so it could have been any time this decade.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, I've narrowed it down to 10 years worth of WWE programming. Great.
No, but hold on. Was there any sort of stipulations to that?
Nope.
Okay.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin.
Ugh.
God damn.
In a 5-way elimination match to determine the #1 contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Oh.
Becky Lynch versus Charlotte versus Natty versus Tamina versus Lana.
Oh, God. I remember this show.
AJ Styles defending the U.S. title against Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
John Cena versus Rusev in a flag match.
Jesus Christ.
Sami Zayn versus Mike Kanellis.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he was there, like, for a hot second.
We all,
It was a very hot second.
speaking of a hot second, our main event, Jinder Mahal, our boy, defending the WWE title against Randy Orton in a Punjabi prison match.
That was the fuck you.
This is the one where Jinder Mahal didn't even walk out with the belt. The Great Khali did.
Yup.
Now, here's the problem. I remember watching this pay-per-view, but I don't remember the pay-per-view. It was a SmackDown exclusive. I don't think it was No Mercy because
I'll give you a hint. This is a pay-per-view where they've had this several times, but only one of them wasn't absolute garbage.
That's a lot of pay-per-views.
Battleground?
What year?
Oh, 2017.
Is that your final answer?
Sure.
It is Battleground 2017.
Let's go. Let's go.
Battleground is one of the biggest failure pay-per-view concepts WWE's ever had. They've only had one decent one.
You know what's
The rest were absolute dog shit.
You know what's so funny, JoshAgeddon? That
Yeah.
was such a great hint that you gave because I have done these with you for so long that I know
Exactly.
that you have one pay-per-view name that you find to be complete and absolute asshole. And that is this particular one. So it is my knowledge
Because
of
all
you.
of them except one are the worst pay-per-view of whatever year they are on.
It was my knowledge of you that allowed me to answer that correctly. I've also pulled more correct
2013
answers out of
was
my
the-
ass today.
2013 was the one where they had Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for the vacant title where Big Show ruined the match. 2014 was just yawn. 2015 was when I rage quit because they had Cena tap out Kevin Owens.
I remember
2016 wasn't that bad. 2016 wasn't that bad. 2017, I think this was the last one because Punjabi prison.
Pain.
Pure pain and agony.
Well,
And then they moved Battleground to NXT.
all right. Well,
For-
I'm going to finish up with some pain for all of us.
Oh, yay.
Yes. Oh, man. Oh, boy.
I am much excited.
I can't wait. I can't
Oh.
wait.
Oh,
And,
God.
yeah.
I know what Sean's gonna do, and I already hate it.
No, this is well. Listen, this is payback for all of the pain that you have put us through here tonight, both of you.
If it's WWE Evolution, I'm quitting as your editor.
This went from us going like, hey, we want to quiz our wrestling knowledge to like, let's just see how much reading these cards can just torture the souls of my brethren. And that is the kind of progression and storyline progression that I have come to really enjoy out of our dynamic here. So
yeah,
an epic conclusion to this evening. Let's start with the pre-show match in a mask versus hair match. El Torito with Diego and Fernando versus Hornswoggle with Drew McIntyre, Heath Slater, and Jinder Mahal.
Wow.
To start the show in a one-on-one match for the United States Championship, Sheamus versus Cesaro with Paul Heyman. In a tag team match, Rybacksel, Curtis Axel and Ryback, and for this one I'm spoiling the results, defeated Cody Rhodes and Goldust.
This poor bastard.
Remember when you hired Rybacksel for your tag team in the company and you were like, yeah, I'm going to push them, and then you decided no?
They were going to job. I only ever brought them into job.
Revisionist history.
Well,
Sure.
Yeah, look at the tapes. Subscribe to see the tapes.
Yeah, catalogs.
Rusev versus Big E in a singles match that lasted all of 32 seconds. Bo Dallas versus Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental Championship. Bad News Barrett versus Rob Van Dam. In a last man standing match, John Cena with Jay and Jimmy Uso versus Bray Wyatt with Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. In the match of the night, a singles match for the Divas Championship, Paige versus WWE legend Alicia Fox.
Oh my God.
And in a no-holds-barred elimination match, The Shield, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins versus Evolution, Batista, Randy Orton, and Triple H.
You said it wrong. It was Blue Tista.
You're right. That's my mistake.
Payback 2014. Jesus Christ.
That wasn't that bad, honestly.
It wasn't that bad of a show, but some of the card was painful to hear.
You mean that pre-show doesn't cause you absolute pain with Hornswoggle and El Torito? This wasn't even the WeLC match.
I was about to say, the month earlier, they had WeLC.
Yeah.
Which was actually kind of good.
Fuck you.
It was weirdly good. It shouldn't have been good.
Fuck you too.
Here's the thing, Joshua, that it was so bad it's funny to laugh at good. It wasn't good wrestling.
I'm sure it was. I remember Drew McIntyre bunny hopping off the apron back first through a table.
Yeah. You know what the funny one is? If we had gone further, the last one I was going to do was WrestleMania 28.
I actually like that show.
Just for the fact of...
Yeah, but you would have done it with The Rock beating John Cena at the end.
Well,
yeah.
And also Team Johnny versus Team Teddy.
Oh.
I remember that.
Yep.
When Eve Torres hoofed Zack Ryder and the Nads.
Which was the beginning of the end for Zack. Little did we know.
The beginning of the cuck.
Yep, that's right. And
Rise above hate.
Yeah, rise above hate and vomit in this bag. And folks, while we regurgitate our lunch/dinner, we are going to take our first commercial break. Well, folks, that was gentlemen, that was fun. Let's cause each other some pain another time.
I have a concussion.
Not yet, you don't.
I have upset stomach.
Well, I don't have any Pepto-Bismol, so I guess we're just all fucked, just like Cody Rhodes. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next time. Oh, I got a shart.